Hi everybody, I'm Josh.
And I'm Heather, and we are from Try Hard Enthusiast on Instagram, and this is our long past due pickups pickups video. We've been trying to find a good point in which the orders have kind of slowed up in order to do this. Hasn't really happened, so here we are.
Yeah. Alright, well, first up is a game that just came in today along with a few others.
Sure.
This game is going to go into our October theme of horror, and a game I haven't played but interested in. It's going to be fun. It's Parasite Eve. Super clean copy, fully complete with the bonus disc and everything.
It's definitely one of the nicer PS1 games that I've seen on eBay. It's quite a
One of the
while.
nicest one in our collection.
No, we've got a couple really nice ones.
No, they're not that nice.
No, see, now you got me thinking. I'll think of something. I will.
She will.
But moving on. Another horror game that picked up for the idea of doing like a Halloween horror theme for October is Blue Stinger on the Dreamcast. This one, I know we were watching a video on YouTube when I'd gotten the idea for this, and I almost want to say they were doing a Halloween thing or talking about different horror games. But this one, you're just essentially stuck in a submarine. Just another survival horror game, which a lot of these were popular back around the time that came out.
Yep.
Next, we have Little Monster. If you followed us on Instagram, then there we go. Well, it doesn't want to zoom in all the way if I'm not close enough to it.
Yeah.
And now Pupper's right there, but this game, if you followed us on Instagram, you'll know that I've been trying to buy this game multiple times. Like, literally purchased it twice cartridge only. It took buying it from a buddy of ours on Instagram who was the one that actually started me on the hunt because I completely forgot about this game. It's just another Pokemon-esque game with gems. It's really cheesy, really childish, but damn it, I had to get it. I had to. And then I also have been trying to work on building up some of our smaller collections, and one that's lacking a little bit is our DS and 3DS. So I picked up a couple games all on the same day off of eBay. We have Wario, Master of Disguise. We have Legendary Starfy.
Which is Kirby.
I mean, it's so cute. I'm sorry. Now I'm stuck on
It's
that.
a Kirby knuckle.
I'm stuck on the dragon. And look at the squid. If that ain't the most, like, fucking Mario-esque Kraken you've ever seen.
That was like a come off of a freaking Cuphead.
Or Monster World. Actually, it does look like the ones from Monster World. But, she's good. I think.
She is.
Yeah.
Sorry, our dog.
She has to be in here with us, like, yeah. But, also picked up Lux Payne, which is a very Phoenix Wright detective style game. This one is complete with the sleeve and the art book. And then also picked up Star Fox 64 3D. This is sealed. Got lost in the mail for a little bit. Finally made it, thankfully. I mean, granted, it was cheap enough for a sealed game, but I almost contemplated canceling the order because I didn't think it was ever going to show up.
But it did.
Alright, what do you want to do now?
Might as well do the PSP.
Come here, kid.
Gives me something I can actually talk about.
Oh, there you go. Pacified the doggo.
Next up are two PSP games. The first one is Final Fantasy II. There we go. Kind of center. Alright, Yeah, it's Final Fantasy. Really, not much to say.
I mean, it's supposed to be a remastered or just a cleaned up version of 2.
Yeah, with some cutscenes and all that.
You want to do that one too?
Nah, you can do that one.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that one really, other than what it is.
Well, I've always heard about this is Fate Extra. Heard about the Fate series for a while, and I've thought about picking up the one that came out on the PS4 and the Vita. Actually, the last 2 came out both on the PS4 and the Vita, and the Switch. I thought about picking them up, but this one has a different combat style than those 2. This is the one where it's almost like you pick so many attacks in a row, and then they just play out. And it's just very unique, and I thought it'd be interesting to...
Yeah. I don't know much about the Fate games. I know the anime.
I don't know how they parallel, but I don't know, it'd be interesting. Here. Do you want to talk about it?
Talk about your games?
Yeah. That you got me.
Let you talk about them.
So here we have both Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. These are early birthday presents. Very early.
Very early.
But I grew up playing Banjo-Tooie. I spent way too many hours playing this on the N64. Banjo-Kazooie, on the other hand, I actually never played. I went straight for the second game.
I've played the demo.
You played the demo? There's a demo? Where's the demo?
Walmart.
Oh yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
You'd break your neck playing games at a Walmart while your mom shopped.
Alright, so... this next game, this is dear to my heart. Growing up, me and my brother on the Nintendo Entertainment System would play the heck out of this game. So much fun. We actually got one of the newest sequels of them right back here. And that is River City Ransom.
And you've been talking about this game for a while, because it keeps popping up.
I'm surprised it took me this long to get it. I wanted it complete in box, but I could not win eBay auctions for that.
That was during the time where
this one does have the manual.
All the auctions were going for stupid prices.
Crazy. I mean, I probably did pay a little bit extra for this than what I should have, but I had to have it.
It's in really good condition.
Yeah,
too.
the cartridge in great condition, the manual's in pretty good condition. Just gotta find the box.
It shouldn't be too hard. Especially right now, everybody's wanting to sell their stuff.
Not as hard as this box.
Premium. Ooh.
Next up, another game from my childhood. This goes along with the game from our other pickup video, which made me want to have this. I need to get the other 2 still. But it is Phantasy Star 4. This is complete in box. In pretty decent shape. This protector is not holding up very well.
Well, it's not the right size for it, but...
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
For a lot of people, this is their favorite Phantasy Star.
And that's the cardboard box, not the clamshell.
Yes, this is older generation Genesis when they started doing cardboard.
But freaking Sega couldn't make up their mind what they wanted to do.
This game is just amazing. It's so much fun. Especially the segments when you're driving around a tank and you actually battle in the tank and shoot people.
So like Blaster Master?
But RPG style.
Here, I'll hold this one up. You talk about it, because...
Alright, next is actually a DVD set for anime. One of my favorites growing up, of course, Gundam Wing.
I think it was a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah, this was my introduction into the Gundam universe, and it got me hooked.
You're good.
Unlike most people, I did not grow up with the original, like, with a 1980 cartoon, whatever it is. I've actually not even seen that one. I want to. It's long. And I have most of the Gundam Wing characters as model kits. I think I'm missing 2. of the main characters. The main five.
I think so.
Is it five? I think it's five.
Sounds
It's
right.
been a while since I watched that series. We need to watch it.
That's it. I definitely grew up on
I also need to get Endless Waltz.
Gundam Wing and G Gundam were the two that I grew up on.
Recently started watching Bloody Orphans. That one's fun. Is it Bloody Orphans? Yeah. Something like that.
I thought it was Blood Orphan.
Whatever. I just know that Gundam's Barbatos.
So, I guess we will move on to Switch unless you want to do that real quick.
Our loan manual, since I referenced this a little while ago. This manual, well, first of all, this game we picked up probably a year or so ago from our local game store.
It's been longer than that.
Yeah, now they catch me out. Childhood game, love it to death. My favorite of this series, and as far as I'm concerned, the only one of this series because the newer ones don't count. Yes, cat. Where are you? Hi.
We have an audience now.
When we picked it up, our game store said that they thought that the copy that they got was fake because it was such amazing edition, but they verified that it was clean,
It was just
legit. It was just
a collector.
collector's item. Unfortunately, it did not have the box. It was cartridge and manual only. So I've been hunting for the box, and in hunting for the box, I almost bought a complete copy again with this manual. And then after losing that eBay auction, I was like, I wonder what the manual goes for, because the manual alone is fairly expensive.
Because once again, it went for way too much.
Found the manual by itself. That is Super Mario RPG. Like I said, the only Mario RPG that exists. Paper Mario does not count.
It's just funny because of how much thinner guides were.
Yes. It does have a little bit of a damaged corner, but otherwise it's pretty clean. Need to find the box to complete my copy of the game, but nobody's selling just the box. And complete copies are insane. So,
Well,
but this manual alone was about a third of the price that I was going to pay for a complete copy. So I'm happy to have that in the collection, and it's really cool. I'm really hoping that the rumors about the sequel are true.
that'd be interesting.
It would be amazing.
I'm gonna do that. So we'll move on to the Switch now. Okay, so first off, picked up Nexomon Extinction. It's just another Pokemon style game on the Switch. I actually started playing this the other day, and I need to play it a little bit longer before I pass judgment on it, because it definitely has its pros and its cons.
The capture system is really interesting.
Yes, that I can agree with. And one of the characters first few minutes is already just breaking fourth wall and being like, oh well, this would never happen in an RPG. Let's just send the kids off into the woods. Nothing's gonna happen. Everything's gonna be fine.
I love
Spoiler,
wall
nothing is
breaking.
fine.
Nothing's ever fine.
But
It wouldn't be a good game if it was fine.
I need to play more of it. I guess one of my gripes with it is you can definitely tell the series is a mobile game series.
Yeah, it's definitely a port.
You can just tell. But move on to the next game, which actually just came in today. Yeah, I wanted Yu-Gi-Oh! I just wanted to get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, so I figured out why not get it for the Switch.
I know absolutely nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh!
I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I don't know, I think I stopped watching around the Dungeon Dice. So still when Yami Yugi and Joey and all of them were the main characters, not any of these other fucking battling with motorcycles. That's not the Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember. So
I know nothing.
it'll be interesting to see how the mechanics have changed since then. It's been a minute.
This next game is This was one of those that Nintendo just kind of was like, hey guys, we're doing this. It drops in a month or 2 weeks, I think it was.
2 weeks. Granted, everybody knew it was coming.
Pre-orders are limited, or orders are limited. They're only going to make so many. You got 6 months to get it now. And of course, that is Mario 3D All-Stars.
I'm actually really glad that we pre-ordered it.
Yes. I pre-ordered as soon as they announced it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we didn't wait like some of the other games. We've waited a couple weeks.
Yeah, I wanted the Game & Watch, but I don't know if we're going to get that on release day.
Did it pre-order already?
I don't know.
Goodness.
I've been looking into it, but I've not seen them go up. Again, these games are classics. I grew up with Mario 64 and Sunshine. Can't talk. Never played Galaxy because I did not own a Wii. But I'm looking forward to playing it. I've been playing the heck out of Mario 64 and abusing it as much as I possibly can because why not? It's always fun when you can abuse the levels and skip 3/4 of a level from one jump. Or die if you mess up, but it's...
Oh, jeez. So another thing that the Switch is good for, kind of like the Vita, is visual novels. So the last 2 games for the Switch that we have are both visual novels. This one is Okana. I'm gonna go with that, because I'm assuming that A is silent. But it's Okana, 4 rhythms across the blue. Essentially, it's a visual novel where they're in a sport where they have like boots that allow them to fly, and there's an actual high school sport. But there's something more into the story. Yeah, you're just like, this sounds like the most weeb thing ever, but
no, it's...
I don't know.
It's almost on par with the Akiba series from the sound.
I'm just bad at describing
craziness.
stuff, but if you read the description, it actually sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Not as much as this one. This one I
just love the title of this one because it's great.
I pre-ordered this one off PlayAsia.
And there's a book also. Is there a book or a TV show?
There is either book or TV show.
There's another series with that name that's
This is
not a video game.
Well, it's not associated with
Yes.
that. Ooh, that's embossed. I just realized that. But this was kind of a last minute pre-order. I think there was only a week left in it. And it is Murder by Numbers. I'm seeing a theme that I've gotten a lot of Phoenix Wright style games. But this is kind of almost like Phoenix Wright, Danganronpa a little bit. I can't remember where the person who did the soundtrack for this. There's a couple other big games. But this came with the art book, soundtrack. It actually has a printed manual in it. I haven't opened it yet because I'm trying to bide my time opening it. But yes, it also
Really cool keychain.
came with a little keychain. Oop, oop, there we go.
Like, that's so cool.
Little keychain game holder.
I love PlayAsia. They're just amazing.
And they're packed, like, the way they do their collector's editions, like, this is what I like.
In fact, if this came all the way from wherever PlayAsia's at, perfectly
New
fine.
Zealand?
We get stuff from the United States that comes busted.
Ugh, don't remind me.
Which I'll show you one of those soon.
Oh yeah, you're salty about that.
Very.
Okay, so moving on. Next, I'll be able to fly through this real quick, just a little preface. I've been trying to collect the Sega Saturn games that me and my cousin owned when we were younger, and I've kind of narrowed it down. There's like maybe 1 or 2 other games that I need, but I picked up the 3-pack-in, which has Virtua Fighter, Virtua Cop, and Daytona. Unfortunately, one of the discs is totally loose in it, but it's sealed, and I don't want to open it, so Godspeed disc. Good luck. 2 of the other games that I picked up were 2 fighting games. Picked up Fighters Mega Mix, which who doesn't want to play as a Daytona car?
Yeah.
And also there was another.
Don't you have to put a code in or something for that?
I can't remember if that was a code or if you got that through winning matches, but there's also a Sonic's character in here. Is like the purple fox looking dude with a hat. He didn't show up in a lot of games. I'll have to find that later for you. But the last game is another fighting game, which is Fighting Vipers. Because, I mean, how can you have a Saturn without fighting games? Oh, stacking boxes. I don't like stacking boxes on top or underneath stuff.
Yep.
Oh.
I think these are all you also.
Yeah, but
Pretty much. You can talk about the first 4. I'll talk about the other one.
the first 4. Alright, so the first one...
These are games I don't know anything. I don't know about that.
Well, I grew up watching Digimon, so I've been kind of trying to
Most of us did.
get some of the Digimon games.
Way better in Pokemon.
So I got Digimon World Data Squad. This one I keep seeing videos of, and the main thing I remember from it is when you're in a battle and it shows the attacks for the different character, it takes up the whole screen. So that alone interests me with this game.
I think most of these came in today, didn't they?
These two.
Yeah.
These did not.
Actually, I can talk about this one.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a game we saw. It was on YouTube originally. We saw someone playing through it. But this is another one of those create traps to stall your enemies for a while.
It's part of the Deception series.
Yep, I was getting there. But of course, it's called Trapped because, you know, got to be clever with our naming.
Which, honestly, I never realized that it was part of the Deception series until it was Eric. I think we were watching one of his videos and he mentioned it.
I think so.
Because we saw that all the time at GameCore. That was one of the games they had at the top. And you always said it looked interesting. But we just never picked it up.
These games are very quirky, but there's just something fun about, like, your character is very fragile, but just can... It makes you think about how you can best lure your enemies into these insane gadgets and...
It's a puzzle game with death.
Yep. And fan service.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're not lying there.
It's true.
So the next 2 games came in today. They're actually 2 games that aren't necessarily liked very much by the video game community. I always see them getting a bad rap.
I've never heard of them.
First one is Orphan.
I've heard of this one. Sorry.
This one's
Not that one.
based on anime. Picked this up for pretty cheap. It was complete. In really good condition, both of this one and the other one that I bought with it. Just something I saw that I was interested in.
Random. That Gundam is Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yes! There we go.
See,
I knew
it always comes to me after
I knew
a while.
it wasn't Bloody Orphans. I was like,
I knew it was
that
Orphan
doesn't
something,
sound
with blood.
Right, but...
Yeah, Iron-Blooded Orphans.
But the other game that came in today was Orphan.
ADD. No.
Both of us. That doesn't help. But it was Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. This is probably the most hated of the Breath of Fire games. But, I mean, every time we've watched videos, it's looked interesting. But then again, I always end up liking games that most people don't like. So
Yeah, sometimes games just get hated on because people like to hate on them.
I like the unpopular opinions.
So, this next game is actually a gift from a friend who came down 2 weekends ago? Ish. He came down for a day. Basically, we sold a car to him.
He picked up a car for free.
Yeah. Well, his purchase price was coming out and getting it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, he brought this game down that he found in his closet or something.
I think it was like in a dresser drawer. He was busy cleaning out his house because he's been doing a lot of renovations, so he's been trying to make room.
But it is Time Crisis Zone on the PS2.
And honestly,
it's actually really good because it has the GunCon in it, and we have Time Crisis 3 with the GunCon right now. So now we have 2 GunCons. So you know where I'm going with that.
I'm just
they're fun.
I'm just really surprised that he remembered this, because we talked about this almost, I'd say, a year ago. So the fact, and it was like right when he was getting ready to leave, he's like, oh, hey, look, I got something, and then he brought it out. I'm like, oh, holy shit, like...
Yes, and yeah, super excited about it, because we needed another gun con, and they're pricey.
We just put the CRT in a appropriate playing level now.
Yep, still temporary, but
still, it's not like where we have to lay on the ground.
It was facing a wall. We couldn't do anything with it for a while.
So it didn't get run into. Granted, the cats used it to rub their face on every 5 seconds.
Yeah, he's looking for things to get into right now.
He always does. That's just what he does.
At least he decided to leave the ball in.
So, last as far as like single non-limited edition games.
Non-collector edition, although a couple of the collector edition games are in here.
Yeah. So we have 2 nice big stacks of PS4 games. I guess we'll just stack over there.
Yep.
Oh, I got the burps.
First up, a game that I was super excited for. Way back when they showed the first trailer for it.
I could have sworn we talked about this in the last video, but we couldn't find it anywhere, so...
It came out after our last video, so it definitely didn't. We might have mentioned it was on its way. She wanted the collector's edition, I did not, because I don't really care about collecting masks. It's cool as they are, but it is Ghost of Tsushima. This is the special edition, so it's a steelbook, because I love steelbooks, and this one's kind of pretty.
That's very pretty, because it's so subtle. You have to have it shining...
Show up on camera very well.
Oh no, it shows up very well.
Yeah.
But when you're like looking at it head on, you have to have it tilted just right, which, I mean, gives it the allure of how the game plays.
Yeah, and I haven't played a lot of the game yet. I've put a few hours into it. I have a few complaints about it in the early parts of the game, but I understand the things that are agitating me a little bit. It's basically the whole, you start off as a samurai, and if you try to do things as a ghost before you're technically a ghost, it shames you a lot.
Really? Oh, because it's not
honorable.
Honorable.
It goes into like a flashback of your uncle or whatever, and he gives you some, calls you a coward basically.
Well, yeah, because it's not honorable. You're not facing your opponent right then and there.
Which I get, it's part of the story and it makes sense. It's just annoying because I like to sneak up and stab people in the back. And sometimes it happens by accident, and then they shame you, and it's like...
Well, to be fair...
But...
We grew up playing Tenchu games, and that is all about, like... You throw a ninja star, you run halfway across the map, knife somebody, run halfway back across the map.
But it's a lot of fun. Like most open world games like that, platforming parts of it kind of suck, but combat's amazing, storyline's amazing, graphics are just beautiful.
That I can agree with.
First time I got into it, one of the challenge duels or whatever they call it, was just so much fun. Which it didn't tell you on screen that how you have to do it, but every time.
Okay.
Moving on.
So next, probably should have put these in some sort of
it's fine.
Rational order. I've been on a whole PSVR kick because I plan on pre-ordering the Oculus Quest, which I still haven't done yet. I really need to do that.
No, Best Buy yelled at me today because you didn't do it yet.
Exactly, I need to pre-order it.
Because if you leave it in your cart, Best Buy's like, hey, you left this in your cart.
Well, okay, so side note, there is a whole thing about shopping cart neglect, and there are multiple it's like a legit thing for businesses, and it's bad. But I'm number one.
To order a PS5 and get in your cart, and they're like, hey, this doesn't exist.
But back on track. So, PSVR games. A lot of the physical PSVR games you cannot get as a NTSC. You're looking at this. It's fine. It's just my screen died.
Yep.
10 minutes. Because that's, of course, LG phones. But, a lot of the PSVR games, you cannot get the physicals as a North American copy. You have to get it as PAL or somewhere else. So one of the games I actually found on Amazon for pretty cheap, it's called Down the Rabbit Hole. And this is, you can probably already assume, it is Alice in Wonderland before Alice. And it almost looks like it's gonna play like Moss. You're staring at the cat. Why are you staring at the cat?
Because he's licking the leg of the tripod.
Okay. He's got a fetish. Leave him alone.
He's also somewhat playing with the cord. I might have to stop him. But we're good for now.
Okay. Well, then you can talk about that one. Because that's pretty much it. It's just Alice in Wonderland in VR.
Sorry. ADD. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, so next up, again, a game from actually my teenage years, I think. Mm-hmm. More or less.
And we'll do B-roll of some of these games.
Yes.
Kind of put in.
Should we show this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a remaster, technically.
Yeah.
Of Destroy All Humans. A lot of people were hating on this remaster because the gameplay really is exactly the same as the PS2 version, and the voice acting, people hate it, but
with the time period that
it's Invader Zim. Like, how can you hate on the voice acting?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've never played Destroy All Humans, so when I watched him play the intro of this game, I was geeking out so bad because I realized that it was the same person who does Zim, who's what's he, like the Overlord in this game, or?
Yeah, he's yeah, more or less like the Overlord kind of thing.
But I was like straight geeking out.
He's not Crypto, I forget his name.
But I mean, really, the voice acting fits for the time period that this game is supposed to take place in.
And of course, we had to get the collector's edition. I did not get the super big edition that has like the freaking 3-foot or whatever Crypto. With the backpack. That was too much.
I thought he did it first. I was about to be like, where the fuck are we going to put a 3-foot statue
I didn't realize
in this
it was that big until we saw people unbox it, and I was like, oh god. Thank god I didn't get that, because
Doggo, lay down.
I don't know where we would put it, and the only reason I didn't get it was because I thought the backpack was stupid, and then I saw the backpack and realized it was a full-size Crypto basically on your back, and I was like, why did I not buy this?
It's expensive.
But it's a game I played the crap out of when I was a kid or a teenager. I've played about maybe a quarter of it since it came out on this.
Yeah.
So
I'll let you do the next
it
one.
brings back some feels, but didn't really hold my attention the best. So this one is the latest sequel in the series, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Series I played as a kid, of course, again, long time ago, but it's Streets of Rage 4. Haven't played it yet. Actually, I'm surprised we don't own the originals. I don't think. But
I know, we haven't gotten any of those.
no. Growing up, beat 'em ups were the thing. They're so much fun.
I mean, arcade games were...
Yeah. And this is like, Streets of Rage, it's one of the best beat 'em ups. So much fun. Looking forward to playing it with this one.
Do you really want to play fighting game? Well, I guess it's a 2-player
Actually,
game. You're playing together.
I believe it has friendly fire, if I remember correctly, with them.
Yeah, you just said famous last words. Do you not remember Super Smash Brothers? Freaking PTSD
Yeah, but the idea
now.
is not to hit me.
But... Alright, so... Like I said, Instagram friend definitely feeds my addiction for very expensive games, and he is definitely, since the pandemic started, has been going through, playing through his collection, playing like the first couple hours or so. If it does not interest him, it is on Instagram for a steal of a price. And it's honestly, it's really great to see with how the prices have been lately. Cause
Prices are insane.
I know we complained the last video about prices. It's just gotten even worse.
Yeah.
It really has. But since the next Shantae games were coming out and we had already pre-ordered the next one, went ahead and picked up Risky's Revenge. This was not cheap, as it is a limited run game. And then also, I just pre-ordered the original Shantae for the Switch. Because, let's be real, there's no way we're getting a Game Boy copy of that game. The card alone's like $500. So I figured, get it for the Switch. I think that's what the one you pre-ordered's on. And then we have Half Genie Hero on the Wii U. And I think that's all of them.
I think so.
And then I'll go ahead. Another one I pre-ordered from Limited Run is Icy. This is a side-scrolling platform game where you're playing as the character, but then there's somebody like overseeing you, telling you where you're supposed to go, and there's like glitches in the game when you're like, it just seemed really interesting. I have the card for it. Can't hardly see that, but
Yep.
well, dent. A dent.
Next up is a interesting game that we looked up on YouTube, and I thought the gameplay looked really, really fun for as simple as it is.
From
Because it is essentially a black and white puzzle game. It's called Ovivo, but it is.
Think Loco Roco,
Yep.
but art.
You're basically a dot or ball, but what it is every single level in the game is essentially a black and white picture, kind of like the cover. And you start at one point of it, and you have to flip back and forth between the two colors in order to traverse the level and figure out how to get
There's like different exits and different
from one
points.
point to the other. And then once you do it, it zooms out and shows you the amazing picture that you just traversed, and it's really just a beautiful game for as simple as it is.
And I'm pretty sure it's still available. That one was a Red Arts game pre-order. Because we've been looking at some of the other limited run type companies, seeing what they've got. Speaking of that, so one, Corey Sally, I know I've mentioned him a couple of times off Instagram. He loves to post his deals, and
Also feeds the addiction.
yes, Super Giant Games was actually selling copies of Bastion, the limited run copies. I don't know how well you can see that. Oh, there we go. The limited run copies of this game for $20. Granted, it took like a month and a half for this to come in, because they were so slow to ship this. And I don't know if it's just pandemic shipping or whatever,
Who knows?
but it took forever. But it's got a full proper manual, which is surprising to see nowadays. But I figured for $20, why not?
So the next one is a remaster that, when it was rumored, like when the company that did this bought this property or this IP and renewed the copyright on it, and then there was rumored that it could be a thing, I was like, I'm buying it as soon as it becomes a thing, and it became a thing.
Like a week later, so.
It was kind of a hidden gem back on the original systems. It didn't really get a lot of traction then and became a cult following. I love this game. Like, it was so much fun. I need to actually sit through and play through it. But it is Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. Not a fan of the title of the remaster, but I get it. Beautiful game back in the day.
Re-Reckoning.
No, it's just Re-Reckoning.
Okay. It's It's 8 o'clock. My brain don't work after this time.
Yeah. Beautiful game. And of course, had to get the collector's edition. So, statue.
In which we'll overlay B-roll of the statue. And the thing that angered him the most was...
Amazon sucks.
I think the box got tossed around a little bit in the warehouse, and then they said, hey, we gotta ship this. This is the only thing.
Yeah.
Label.
Well, to start with, I pre-ordered it as soon as pre-orders were announced on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And it got delayed a couple times, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. But release date came and it didn't ship. And then they sent me a thing saying that they would ship it as soon as it became available. And if it didn't ship within the next month, they were going to cancel my order. And I was like, what the fuck? And then like a week later, I got the confirmation that it shipped, and I was super excited until it showed up, and they literally just stuck the shipping label on the collector's edition box, and it got quite beat up in the mail. I was very tempted to send it back, but they were sold out, and I was like,
yeah, there was no way
I'm not getting another copy of it if I send it back, so...
Which they have restocked since then, but I think it's been too long for us to be
Amazon
able
sucks.
to ship it back.
And it's not the first time that we've gotten things where they slap the sticker on the box, and it seems to always come from the same distribution center when they do it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's nerve-wracking. But at least they don't put some in bubble mailers and send them. Well, sometimes they do.
Yeah. Alright, so next is another game. I can't remember. I want to say it was Secret Rare Games that had this one first. And then Red Art Games released it, but it is Evoland. And this game, it's a very Zelda-style game, but the cool thing about it is it starts off as an 8-bit game, and as you progress through the game, you start progressing through the different, like...
Graphical
advances,
jumps.
There we go.
Yeah.
To where you're playing, like, a full...
You go 8-bit, 16-bit,
30.
probably 32 or 64, something like that. But it goes up to where you're playing a pretty graphically intense game.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm kind of sad I didn't pre-order it the first time, but I would have rather had it on the PS4 anyways. So I'm not too hateful about it.
So, next up is a remaster that, when it was announced, we both were like, that's really cool.
Neither of us pre-ordered
We
it.
didn't get that. And neither of us pre-ordered it. And so after it came out, and then we were like, why did we not pre-order that? So then I ordered it, and it came in a couple days later. But that is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Honestly, even though it's late right now, I kind of want to play through that when we get done.
I wouldn't mind playing some of this. I mean, it's still sealed. We haven't even opened it yet.
Yeah.
Because as much as we were excited about this game,
We've been so busy with work lately.
we've been
getting
busy
home.
and just with so many of our PS4 games we have, they're all still sealed. Because as long as the disc isn't loose, we don't open them until need be.
Alright, continuing on.
Yep.
So, from time to time, I will surf Amazon just to look to see if anything's dirt cheap. And actually, the next two games are in that category. The first one is Risk of Rain 2. This was less than $15. I mean, it looks interesting. It's couch co-op, if I'm not mistaken. And it says network play. Damn it.
Everything is network
Yeah,
nowadays.
I would say everything's network play nowadays. But either way, it looked really cool, and it comes with the first game. Probably should open this soon just to see when the code expires for the
probably.
game, just to redeem that.
Although half the time when they expire, they don't actually expire. You can still claim
Which is
them.
weird.
Yeah. Expiration dates mean nothing.
But then in that same realm, this was $10, which I'm glad I only got it for $10 because it ended up coming in a bubble mailer and got punctured. So the artwork on the back is actually damaged. But it's Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunter.
Yeah.
Kind of goes with the whole Halloween theme. visual novel detective style game. And actually the disc is loose in it.
That's
Forgot
why
about
I
that.
hate bubble mailers. I don't know why. Like, I get they're cheap, but I don't understand why any self-respecting game company will ship in a bubble mailer.
It was Amazon.
I know. But I've seen video game store channels that we watch that will ship stuff in bubble mailers, and it's just like, why?
And that's also a an Axis game, so.
Alright, next up is a long title. This is Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force. Long title. Kind of shows up.
So I'm pretty sure that's just.
This is not the Doesn't It Run one, is it?
No.
It's not Idea Factory though.
Because I didn't want the Switch version, I wanted the PS4 version. And that's a remaster of the one on the PS3. I got that for pretty cheap on eBay, but the reason why I got it cheap on eBay is it is actually either like a giveaway contest.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
Because if you can see on the barcode, there's a hole punched out of it, which typically that means it was part of a giveaway or not for resale, something of that nature. But either way, this game typically goes for like 50 bucks. I think I got it for 30. So I'm not complaining. And it was sealed, like brand new sealed.
And next up is No Straight Roads. Beautiful cover art. Thought it was loose for a second there.
Nah. That one looks like it's going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, because it like changes based on what you're doing, doesn't it?
There's
'Cause like
different music for different areas depending on the boss, because essentially you are fighting EDM with rock music.
Yeah, but the whole game isn't a rhythm game. It goes into rhythm when you start to do actions, right? Or something like that.
I think there's different fighting styles depending on the area.
It looks really cool.
And then next, granted I haven't played through the first one yet, but I picked up Death End Request 2. I figured the first game has been going for a pretty penny. It really hasn't dropped in price. So I'll go ahead and pick up the second game just to get it out of the way, have it, so that eventually I can get to it.
And next up, is this the one I'm thinking of? Yeah.
Doggo.
This is a kind of a weird game, but kind of fun, or funny looking. But it's 13 Sentinels Aegis Realm.
It's Vanillaware.
Yeah. Is this the one where? Yeah, this is the one where you are running from the monsters.
No, you were
No, I'm thinking of the wrong game.
You were way off.
Still,
That one is.
It's a visual novel.
It's a new Vanillaware game published by Atlas. Essentially, there's different mechs stationed around the city to protect against the kaiju, from what I'm getting. But it's definitely in this typical Vanillaware.
oh, it's that one.
Yeah, it's that one. You're like halfway down the step.
Yeah, I'm on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get these games confused.
I'm gonna let you try to read the kanji on that one.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hey.
So she got me this game because she thought it'd be something I'm interested in, because I am quite interested in archery and bow hunting. But this is a VR game called Quiver. It's kind of like a turret game.
Tower defense.
Tower defense. You fight different waves using your bow and arrow in, classic VR style. You actually have to pull it back like you normally would.
Once again, physical you can only get as a PAL. You can't get it North American.
And apparently you have bombs too.
Yeah.
But
it's also supposed to be one of the most realistic physics for a archery game.
yeah.
So that's why
We watched the gameplay of it and thought it'd be really fun to play for a VR game, because that's kind of what VR's fun for.
This next one is another one that I'm mad that I didn't pre-order because I was going to, and I just didn't do it.
Story of our life.
Yep. But it is Tokyo Chronos, and it's a VR game, like a VR murder mystery visual novel, which is interesting to say a visual novel is a VR game. But essentially, you are dead, and you're trying to figure out who killed you, I believe. And how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, your 8 friends are involved in it.
Huh.
So, I mean, just for an anime VR game, I thought it'd be interesting to see how that ends up looking. This one, it's cute. You run around as a fox. But it's Spirit of the North. Essentially, I can't remember if you are a fox spirit, or you're trying to find the fox spirit. Either way, it's just another one of those, like, no dialogue, really pretty run around. Oh yeah. So what's the name of this one?
I'm not even going to try to say the name of this one because it's not on the cover. I mean, it does have English on it. It says, "This is not the story of some hero, this is your story." So, this is a game I got confused with the other one, but in this one, you're essentially a Japanese citizen running from the giant monster battles and kaiju. It's essentially a survival game with giant monsters involved.
Yeah, one of my buddies on Instagram has been posting nonstop about that for a while. And then I saw it, I showed Josh, and I was like, need it now. Need to figure out what this is.
Yeah.
Just in case you're curious, it's either translated as... Ooh, I spit. It's either translated as Shrouded in Shadows or City Shrouded in Shadows. But something... I mean, it makes sense because there's a big giant shadow on the cover.
Yeah. It's just the whole concept of just running from a giant monster.
Well, it's not just giant monster. It's Ultraman, even Galeon, fucking Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla, like...
Which, a lot of them are on the back at the top, if you can see.
Like, just the whole concept. You're usually always playing as Godzilla, not as...
Well, you don't play as them. You run from them.
Well, I know, but I'm saying typically you're playing as Godzilla, but this game you're playing as the
people on the ground, they're like, ah!
And that is, if I'm not mistaken, made by the same people who make Disaster Report, which it got some of the similar art style. Alright, technically last two games.
Last two games.
Well, you also got one. I guess you'll talk about, and then we'll just B-roll over images of it.
It is still in the box.
Yeah. So last two
I thought I
games
put the game out of it.
are... No. You put everything back in. Because you kept going on and on about how it's packaged. But last two games came in the day before, if not this weekend, I can't remember. 2 more VR games. We got Sirento, which this one you play as a ninja in VR. Lots of flips. Probably gonna get motion sickness. It's okay. And then we have Concrete Genie, Story of My Life, another game that I meant to pre-order and just never got to it.
Put these back up here. Alright. The last game that we have, we'll just have to show it in B-roll because I'm not pulling it out right now.
No.
I got the Avengers Collector's Edition. I don't know why it's also in the box. I pulled it all out of the box and put it back in the box. I don't normally do that.
Lapse in judgment. Memory.
Yeah. It is really cool packaging, but the game's not getting the greatest of reviews, but I love the Avengers, and anytime I can run around as the Hulk and Thor and just beat things up, it's fun. So I'm definitely going to give it a playthrough, and I'm not a big fan of games as a service, but I can get over it.
You can just play what you can before you gotta start buying shit.
Well, I mean, you don't really have to buy that much, and I don't think it's just cosmetics.
Okay, that's good.
As far as I know.
I can accept that.
And then the last two things that we have, I think, right? Yeah.
Pretty sure.
These are some of the last ones I need for the series, but I got 2 more of the Witchers sets. I got Geralt in the Ursine.
Nope.
Or that's Trish. Trish Miracle and Geralt in the Earth Sign armor. I cannot say that for some reason, but I want the original Geralt, but I'm not spending $400 on a statue.
Between that and the risk of getting a fraudulent figure, because apparently those are very counterfeited.
I found this guy on eBay for pretty cheap without the box, and the more I looked at it, it was fake. So I ordered off of Big Bad Toy Store, because I think Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah. He took forever to come in, and I'm not that hateful about it, but if I was going to spend the money on the original one, I would just get the full-size bust one.
Oh
That's
my
like
God.
$1,000 or more, but it's cool. So that is beefing up my Witcher statue collection, because I think the only one left that I really want is Regis the Vampire, because
You don't want Dandelion?
he's cool. Dandelion in the games looks stupid.
But you don't have Dandelion.
I might get him. I love his character, and I love his characters in the book more than anything. But the game just makes him look stupid. I understand his look in the game because of his profession. But
What do you think is the 1 or 2 games that you're most excited about?
ooh.
Put you on the spot.
Most excited, Kingdoms of Amalur and Tony Hawk. 2 games that I don't even have open right now.
Honestly, for me, I would have to say either Tokyo Chronos or Murder by Numbers. Because I mean, I was so into Tokyo Chronos when it first came out. Like, I was all about it. And then the pre-order came. I forgot about it. Pre-order went. Ended up spending significantly more than I wanted to on it. Granted, I still got it on sale for what it's going for right now.
That's why I made sure we got the Mario game before it got expensive, because I hate scalpers. I hate them so much.
But I believe that's everything.
I think so.
So now we get the fun task of trying to figure out where all of this is going to fit. Because most of our shelves are full.
Yeah.
The easiest is probably going to be the PS4.
Yeah.
But
The hardest is going to be the statues.
yeah.
I need to put more shelves.
But like we mentioned in the beginning of the video with some of our games, we have a whole horror Halloween type theme going on for the month of October. We plan on recording quite a few, at least first impression videos of different horror, survival horror,
Halloween type thing.
yeah, stuff that would fit into the theme of October and just that macabre type deal.
Yep.
It's also going to be lots of pictures of lots of that genre of games, so definitely keep an eye on the Instagram. And we are going to try streaming 2 days this month.
Yeah. A little closer to the mid and end of the month.
Yeah, it was around the 17th, so yeah, the middle of the month, and then Halloween.
It's Halloween and whatever the...
2 weeks.
Friday? Is it Friday? Saturday. Halloween's a Saturday.
Yeah, we were going to stream on Saturdays.
Yeah. It's the 2 Saturdays before Halloween. We're going to do a stream.
But we'll definitely
Try
post...
our hand at it.
We'll post it in advance that way. If you want to come and hang out with us, more than welcome to. Watch me probably get terrified because I'm not good with horror games.
I don't remember what we were talking about streaming.
We were gonna stream Little Nightmares.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, I can check real quick. I don't think it was Corpse Party, but it was something similar to that. Little Nightmares and Witch and the 100 Night.
Oh, yeah.
Because you and your Disgaea games. Because let's be real, it's practically Disgaea.
She's in Disgaea as a downloadable character.
She is. But
But she's just a foul-mouthed little witch, and it's funny as hell.
But yeah, just keep an eye on Instagram. We'll post updates for different videos when they come out and streams.
Yep.
And definitely, if you like our content, go ahead and subscribe, like the video,
Comment.
follow us on Instagram. We're always looking to talk to new people about video games. So, alright. Until then, see ya.
See ya.